Welcome everyone to our Wolf in Green's Clothing Unmasking Greenwashing, a special podcast from our group, which is from Sustainable Society. And I am Imran, one of the speakers for our group, and for today's greenwashing awareness campaign. And today we're going to deep dive into the sneaky world of greenwashing. You know, those companies where they're always makes their product seems very eco-friendly, but in reality they're not really not. So please grab your reusable coffee, settle in, and let's expose the wolves in sheep, and or should I say the greens clothing.
Alright, hey everyone, my name is Ahmad Izzuddin. I will be your co-facilitator in this podcast. I'll be diving into the facts, stats, and real-world examples today. In this episode, we'll break down what greenwashing is, why companies do it, real-world culprits, and how to spot it, its impacts, and how our campaign fights back. So we're gonna keep it educational here and fun, and it's not gonna be any boring lecture. So yeah.
Alright, so before we jump in, I want to give a quick shout out to our society members group. So we're all passionate, you know, and volunteer regarding about this transparency. So if you like to, hold on a second, let me show it to you. You can join. You can join our Instagram chat. Can you see it? Be sure to check out our Instagram for more greenwashing stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so so let's start with the basics regarding about this. So what is the overall definition about greenwashing? Because people generally know the concept of people companies lying about the products being eco-friendly kan, because you know jangan biasa je kan.
Yeah.
Can you please inform the audience what is greenwashing about?
Alright, so greenwashing is when companies or organizations make false, misleading, or exaggerated claims about their environmental benefits to appear more sustainable than they really are. So the term actually comes from whitewashing, covering up bad practices but with a green twist. It gained popularity in the 1980s, coined by environmentalist Jay Westerfeld, after seeing hotels encourage guests to reuse their towels to save the planet when it's mainly actually just to reduce their costs.
Oh, so it's just straight out outright lah. Just hey, so everybody please can you start don't use much laundry. So it's basically more just cut costs lah. So the companies are just too lazy to just.
I mean, they're not outright lying, but while it can also help reduce the planet, but they're not being transparent on why they're doing that.
No, it's still outright. But it's still an outright lie. Come on, guys. So yeah, but regardless, it's a outright lie. But you just said it's sometimes a little bit vague wording, right? So let's say something that natural without explaining what it literally means, right?
I mean, exactly. I mean, according to the United Nations, greenwashing includes vague claims, misleading eco labels, or highlighting small improvements while ignoring major environmental harm.
So basically something we are doing it's basically trying to promote a product which is very good for environment, but in reality it's emitting more harm towards the environment lah.
Yeah, more harm than good.
Fair enough. And actually and sustainability kind of sells towards this. McKinsey study, hold on a second, let me check this. There was a study by McKinsey that shows that 60%, 60% of consumers are willingly to pay for sustainability products, they would probably want to pay extra charge, right? Have you done some of those? Did you have any products where it's sustainability, eco-friendly products before this?
I mean, yeah, but obviously I would check the product first, check the company. So I have a lot of metal straws at home, bamboo straws. So
how much? Do you do most of your families kind of use those straws? I mean, I do have some, but I kind of don't use it much because it's a little bit pain to clean.
I mean, yeah, I used to sell a lot of metal straws back in the day. So
speaking of those, I actually once buy a bottle, right? It's a little bit more expensive, but it's like 70 ringgit, I would say. It's very,
Oh,
very
wow,
expensive.
that's expensive.
But then again, it proves to my claim that 60% of people are very much willing to pay extra for eco-friendly products, you know. And the same can be said for my parents also, you know. Those water bottles you typically carry, you know, like at home, you can work, you know, they can, a water bottle you could say. And also, a company by the name of Nissan IQ find that 78% people, you know, they value a sustainable life, you know, life that is very good for the environment. Not because well, for the past like maybe 20 years, or probably even since before like the 20th century, people has like neglected our earth, you know. Our earth are kind of like, it's becoming more harm and good, you know, like satellites, debris satellites at the space, you know, or more trash, you know, at the street. Our ozone layer is shrinking because of, you know, CLC. So companies know that this, and some of them actually try to choose marketing over real action, you know.
I mean, yeah, historically, this also isn't new. In the 1980s and the 1990s, companies like Chevron ran ads showing wildlife conservation while violating environmental regulations.
So that exactly goes on to our campaign title, The Wolf in Green's Clothing.
Exactly. It represents companies disguising harmful practices with green marketing. Our campaign aims to expose this through education, activities, public engagement, so that people become more critical consumers.
So yeah. Now I think I've read some research regarding about greenwashing, right? And there was a report by the UN that greenwashing actually like delays like the real climate action, you know, by, and then they confuse the public like, hey, this product actually very good, you know, so please buy it. But even then, there are actually, yeah, you could say that greenwashing as is one of the factors of that is caused by environment. But of course, there are also others, you know, such as like fossil fuel factories, you know, charcoal, and then more of them are not resorting much to renewable or like renewable energy sources, you know. But even then, those are very much more important towards greenwashing. Those companies are like making a new problem, you could say, you know, by introducing the, hey, our product is good, but it's not really good. They are effectively trying to make it a problem, you know. Like we already have a problem, you know, regarding about our electricity, you know, that is causing harm, and then we have another problem again. Susah again, these companies.
Yeah, I mean,
And regarding about those, it's the trust regarding about those companies decline because you are basically just giving false advertisement that is actually good for the public, kan?
yeah.
So
So yeah, I mean, yeah, companies do this for a quick cash grab, but we'll get into that later more. And now I'm gonna ask you guys, the listeners. So a quick reflection, alright? Have you ever bought something just because it looked eco-friendly? If you have, you can share your experiences with us on our social media.
And when they say eco-friendly, it can be anything. By the way, it can be like water bottles. It can be forks and spoons, like those plastic fork and spoons. Kind of counts, I guess. So yes, please do show your opinions or your experience regarding like those eco-friendly products on our social media page. Now, since we have done with the introduction, you know, the greenwashing and stuff like that, we are going to tackle on why do companies, you know, push greenwashing, you know? Why are they so much wanted to take the risk by outright those products to the public, right? Like, it's such a hassle to outright lie, and obviously, if you just lie to your consumers, at some point it will be known to the public that you will outright lie, you know? And some of them actually are, fines are very massive, by the way. Like Volkswagen have to pay billions, and that is because of their like emission. If I'm being honest, regarding about Volkswagen, but we get into that later. And they have to like pay billions of dollars due to that fine. So why do you think so that companies do those risks?
I mean, like I said previously, which now I'm gonna elaborate to it, is actually it's because of money, you know. If they do this, is a really fast cash grab for them. So according to Bain and Company, nearly 90% or 98% of sustainability initiatives fail. Real sustainability requires restructuring supply chains, which is expensive and time consuming. Greenwashing is just the shortcut for a quick cash grab.
So it's basically just finding a quick buck.
Yeah.
They just want a quick profit because it's probably much more easier if they just say that it's, because then again, it's, as you said, it's quick money, and I don't blame them, I guess. Sometimes for companies to stay afloat, they have to make a quick buck, and that is actually a very viral eco-friendly claim that can actually boost the company's image and even the stock prices,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, pressures from the investors, consumers, and regulation pushes companies to appear green. Some even admit that they're exaggerating it. A CEO survey showed more than half acknowledged greenwashing.
Half.
Yeah, more than
Like,
half.
when you meant to say that the CEO is aware like what they are doing,
I mean, yeah, they're definitely aware.
Even then, they still quite goes through it, like they are they are willingly want to harm some of our planets, our planet ecosystem, or our sustainable society, if I must say, so that they can make a quick buck. It's quite crude,
Mm-hmm.
And of course, regarding about those, when it was exposed, of course, the trust, the credibility against those companies, will plummeted. Bawah kan. And when it's plummeted, the consumers will, let's say, diorang will not buy their products, Hey, this company is outright lying to us. Why should we buy this company, And as you just said the survey before, 60% people are willing to buy sustainable products. And when a company is like certified that way, we are, selling a sustainable product, and then you just outright lie and it's not a sustainable product, people will lose hope, Most of those consumers are willing to pay extra. So why would you want to, lie up them? It's just easy money. They are willing to pay more money just for it's, just for it is good for the environment, So that's why, the education or the awareness regarding about the greenwashing is very important, and very important to the public, because to spot greenwashing,
Yeah.
So, into the real life examples of this. Now, do you have some examples about this? About the controversy about any companies have done greenwashing in the past, Izzuddin?
I mean, there are a lot of examples across the industries, such as oil, fashion, food, banking, aviation. But it just goes to show that greenwashing isn't isolated, it's systematic.
Regarding about those, I think there's example companies, hold on a second. I think Volkswagen, I didn't mention this before, that Volkswagen, hold on a second, let me find this. Yes, they admit that from an article that they cheat on emission tests, by replacing various vehicles with a defect device, and with a software that could detect when it has undergoing an emission test and altering performance to reduce the emission level. And this was going on while the company was touting the low emission and eco-friendly features of its vehicles in the marketing campaign. In actuality, the engines were emitting up to 40, by the way, 40, that's just outright, by the way, times the allowed limit for nitrogen oxide pollution. So that's actually one of the Volkswagen earlier examples of greenwashing, And regarding about the oil company, ExxonMobil. You know ExxonMobil, right? I think it's an oil company, I mean, I've heard it before this. Have you heard ExxonMobil?
No, I haven't heard.
It's okay. Now, it's very controversial that this oil company specifically, they has a long history of damaging environment, according to the article that I'm watching right now. And in 1989, they spilled over 11 million gallons of crude oil into Alaska's Prince William Sound. I think this was on the UA. It's very prominent in the UA, and they still do, by the way. and it's considered like the worst oil spill in US history until the 2010s. And of course, they spill like 1,300 miles of coast, killing the ecosystem of the ocean, birds, the fishes and all of that, etc. So it came under fire, when they advertised that it's actually, hey guys, it's actually experimental algae biofuels. I mean, what kind of fuel is that can actually do algae biofuels? Am I right? That they reduce the transport emissions, and while it has no company with that net zero, it's basically the oil spill basically harms the environment. Long term, by the way. So yeah, that's actually some of the examples of that. I may want to ask you, my dear viewers who are watching this, what examples of any companies in general, whatever that is, oil company, aviation, or like any companies in general, whatever it's entertainment, making products and etc. What shocked you the most? If you do, please comment on our social media post regarding about that. That would be very helpful of you, so that we may understand those stories regarding about your experiences. Now, the next segment is how do we spot? Now, obviously, it's not easy. It's not easy that to spot like the obvious face to face. I mean, obviously we could do, but how could we spot greenwashing? How could we like make the public aware, like this company is doing greenwashing, I'm not gonna buy this product, So Iszu, then what do you think like the examples of like to make the public aware like this product is greenwashing by just looking at it,
Alright, so the 5 major red flags to spot when you're gonna check for greenwashing, which is the vague language the company uses,
Vague language, huh?
the irrelevant claims, hidden
It's like they say like hey, this product is good lah for not it's good for the environment lah, something like that.
I mean, irrelevant claims can also be like, oh yeah, this product is good, but they also list some other reasons why it's good, but it doesn't have to do anything about.
So basically, I'm not reading it a lot.
Yeah, I mean the other 3 are hidden trade-offs.
Hidden trade-offs.
Yeah.
What does it mean by hidden trade-offs? Is it like not specifying like what are those trade-offs regarding about those products? Like so we're not clarifying that it may actually impact the environment or something like that.
I mean, yeah, they will just name all the good and
the good parts.
Yeah, they will hide all the bad parts. So yeah.
So basically, understand. And what are the two
there will
others?
also no proof and misleading imagery.
Okay. So I think that's very much self-explanatory. By not like giving the public artificial, not an artificial, a way for them to actually see how it's basically good for the environment, And on to the next of our segment, which is ESG. Now, environmental, social, and governance impacts. Now, what are those ESG? Like what are the ESG effects towards sustainable?
Alright, so environmentally, greenwashing delays real solutions. Socially, it misleads consumers and harms trust. For governance-wise, it undermines ethical transparency.
Exactly. So it's very important, because ESG matters, especially towards sustainability, because environmental. You are honest your sustainability to the public by making the product and promoting the product as a sustainable product, which is very eco-friendly. And by social, you are informing the public regarding about the awareness of greenwashing and the education behind it to prevent people from buying it. And the government is that taking accountability that your company may or may not making a sustainable product, but also making, so you have to take accountability at some point, right? People will try to make claims that this is not good or this is good, which depends on that company. I mean, regardless, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, even the company do. So they have to take accountability that at some point that hey, the product we're doing is not very good, so and then they have to do something about it to gain the public's trust to buy their products. And moving on to the next segment of our podcast is to regarding about our campaign and how to get involved about it. So, in Wolf in Green's clothing campaign, the podcast that right now is exposing the misleading sustainability claims through interact details from people person experience and the talks about it, the flyers you see that you can just see elsewhere at malls or at schools or whatever, and the posters or the activities regarding about that.
So we're going to be leading engagement sessions, quizzes, and demonstrations to make sure learning is fun and impactful.
And so, if you're interested or wanted to support this, you can actually join, as I said before earlier in our Instagram, earlier in the introduction. You can join our Instagram, by the way. See that? It's right here, by the way. Nampak tak? It's not nampak. But I did mention this earlier, so I'm not gonna repeat it again. So, next one is our interactive Q&A. Ooh, questions and answers.
Yeah.
Now, this is the interesting part about this. So, in your opinion, Izzuddin, is green marketing bad?
No, but real sustainability comes with transparency and data.
So, well, what does that mean? Like, transparency and data?
So if the company is generally gonna have a product that's generally
Statistics.
no. Like they make this product and they aim to help the consumers and also sustain this planet. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then they should really research on their studies and also be transparent with the product instead of just mouthing all the good instead of the bad.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, and then in doing so, how can like individuals, avoid greenwashing in general, like this, like in general, like I'm not saying like just exclusive to like young teenagers, like for our, for the youngs and for the elders, how could we do so,
Alright, so first of all, you can research the brands. So just see what is the product and what company is selling the product. If the company is really telling the truth, basically. Also make your own research on your own studies as well. Buy second-hand items also.
Second-hand. So you just, it's okay. Yeah. By the way, it's okay to buy second-hand. Okay, everybody have their own 5 million problems. Like even if this shirt right here I'm buying, this is basically second-hand. It's not like this product is the highest quality. I mean, yeah. No need to buy it. Even this shoe is second-hand, by the way. It's okay. We all are broke someday, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. You can just go thrifting or whatever.
Yeah, just go thrifting. It's much more cheaper. Why go buy first-hand products? Unless, of course, it's very, very, very good, by the way.
Yeah, and also lastly, also question the vague claims, because sometimes these companies make some crazy claims which even like I can't even believe it. Ain't no way this is gonna.
This product is good for the environment. Please buy now. 50% discount or something like that.
Yeah.
Alright, so in conclusion, so thank you for joining us into our podcast into greenwashing. And remember to don't just follow the green labels, question them,
Yeah.
Be curious about them. Don't just like, this is good, and then just don't question like, is this good for the environment? And together we can build a trust and a sustainable society.
Yeah, and stay green.
Be real, for real, by the way.